This is Atheist at Large with a debate from the Debate Faith chat room, evolution versus creationism. Wacky Zach versus Lord Immolation. Wacky Zach, you have 3 minutes. 3 minutes starting now.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm 17 years old. My academic level varies from whatever you would assume my position. I am an 11th grader. I just passed my high school exit exams. I'm eligible for a GED in that credential, and my opening statement is going to go along the lines as I do believe in pre-Earth. I believe the Earth is about 6,000 years old. I believe there was a flood about 4,400 years ago that in turmoil is going to be the foundation of what I claim. I'm going to go ahead and start off is that, first of all, I don't think evolution is under the category of science, and let me tell you why. Science, the definition of science is known as knowledge in general aspects. Knowledge of science, you know, science as in it varies in definition from site to site, so I'm not going to quote anything, but in principle it is the outgoing understanding of everything, of what we know as reality and what we can see and observe. And I don't believe evolution is science. I believe it is a faith, it's a religion. I believe that there is no substantial evidence or undeniably fallible evidence to the proof of evolution. I don't believe it is something you can state as a fact or ever will be. I believe the pre-Earth evolution evidence is much stronger than the old Earth or the evolution altogether. I believe our evidence outnumbers that of yours, and I'll be glad to give examples and apply that to you. Main body. First off, I can say that evolution is a it has five terms, as you all know, but generally is accepted as self-replicating self-replicating organisms of life.
30 seconds.
So we're going to go ahead and say evolution, but yeah. Oh, all right. So basically, that would mean that it is logical. My logic, from what I'm about to explain, is
time.
That's what I'm going to be showing.
It's all yours for the next 3 minutes, starting now.
Okay, firstly, I'm not going to state my academic background because I feel that's irrelevant to the argument, but the first thing that I would want to say is my main understanding from evolution not only comes from the biological and the geological evidence to support an old Earth, it comes in a lot more adequate detail from the mathematical proof which is used in many areas of computer science. And the actual principles that drive evolutionary theory are demonstratable and used in computer science, which rely on 3 or 4 basic premises. The first one being that wherein there is a body of individuals which are diverse, which are able to replicate and pass on their characteristics with a certain mutation, they will inevitably grow more suitable to the environment in which they are situated. Now, there is no way that you can refute that because there is a mathematical proof to the contrary. I also believe, as well as this mathematical proof, which is demonstratable, firstly, your definition of science was wrong. This is a problem known as the demarcation problem, and evolution, I think you'll find, is very well within science, which is a body of from my understanding of the scientific method, it's a body of hypotheses based on physical observations which are falsifiable or could be subject to falsifiable measures. That's the Popperian view of science, which I'm willing to endorse. The second thing that I want to assert is probably quite obvious to most of these people in the room, that any so-called evidence that you would present from a creationist standpoint would not be evidence at all. It would be playing upon ignorance, so you'd be probably catering to a God of the Gaps argument. However, there's only a few ways that you can go about this. You could probably poke holes in the fossil record, but again, that's not really going to cut it. You could say that there's no transitional forms, but this would be a blatant lie, because we could go on to Google, type in examples of transitional fossils, and you'd find a vast array of transitional fossils. There's lots and lots of evidence, not just DNA evidence, but the carbon dating, which, despite your claims to the contrary, is indeed a very accurate way to get the age.
I'm sorry, you got 15 seconds.
Okay, I'll just conclude it there then.
Okay, so now, Wacky Zach, it's your turn to for retort of Lord's opening statement. You have 5 minutes right now.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to start off saying no. Carbon dating has been proven wrong countless times. There is no they even have gone as far as the most recent mistake was to say a snail tested in at 26,000 years old, a living snail. There's been countless demonstrations of this type of inaccuracy for carbon dating, and if you actually understand the dynamics of carbon dating, you could logically see the errors in that type of dating. And secondly, fossils, transitional fossils, they don't prove anything. For one, you can't prove that fossils bared children. That's as simple as it gets. You can't prove anything from a fossil. The only thing a fossil proves is that it died. Besides that, the fossils also indicate of the worldwide flood, and that's stated in the idea that why are these fossils buried in the earth in conditions, in full structural conditions, their whole skeletons buried under the earth. Thirdly, I'm going to go back down a little bit back in time. To say that evolution is logical and is part of science is probably the most ridiculous thing you could do. It's first of all, I'm going to explain why I think it's a religion. First of all, we have never observed, according to science, any type of immaterial become life. We haven't done it. People have tried to recreate it, they can't do it. And even if they did create it, that would still be, I mean, you could still say that's intelligent life designing it. The idea that we came from a rock, I think that is completely illogical. The fact that we have never seen in cosmology to prove that the universe is 20 billion years old or whatever, that is simply to state that cosmology, we have never witnessed a star birth. Think about it, there's 2 trillion stars for every person on Earth, yet we have never witnessed a star birth. We've seen stars die. We've seen plenty of those. We have over 30 of those. It's called supernovas. According to the chemical evolution, the evolutionists claim that chemicals were created by stars, but without those chemicals, how could you create that? You've got a chicken and egg problem. There's no logic in chemical evolution. There's no logic in the origin of life evolution. There's no logic in a logic is defined as something is reality. It's not science either. It's something you could observe.